What up, y'all? Told you I'd be back. Go ahead and do me a favor. You know what time it is. Hit that like, subscribe, post notification bell for me. I'm sitting on my break thinking, as I always do. I'm always thinking, always thinking. My mind is always swirling. Anyway, what I was thinking about was a conversation. Well, more than one I've had about this same thing. But I think about my clients, existing clients, potential clients, new clients. Some are athletes, some are just getting into fitness for the first time. Some have been on their fitness journey for a few years, and maybe a little frustrated or discouraged. And I keep going over the same thing, right? Like in the conversations that I've had, it's come up that, like me, before when it's come to nutrition or whatever the thing is, that I may not have just been ready, either for the message or the program or the responsibility or the next level, whatever the case, insert whatever into the spot. And I do see validity in that. I see value in that, and I see some sound logic there. Speaking entirely for myself and my experience, and even recently, feelings of frustration or just whatever, struggling with things like nutrition or. And another part to this that I think is true for me and is very possible that it may be true for you and others is that, yes, it may be in part that you are not ready for a part of a message or a program, whatever the case may be. But for me, I also understand that along with perhaps maybe not being ready, and I think that may be a small part of it, or, and this next part may be the catalyst for that feeling of lack of preparation or not being ready, and that is satisfaction or complacency or being okay with where you're at, aka the risk versus reward in your mind isn't worth it. You're cool where you're at. It is not worth it in your mind to take the steps needed to secure X, Y, or Z goal, or to take that first step or next step down the path that you haven't traveled yet. Specific example, when it comes to nutrition. It is very simple, very simple. Now, I've had conversations about untreated trauma and reward systems and dependencies and cycles of dependence and whatever. Disordered eating disorders. Apparently there's a difference. And again, not to say that there's no merit to any of those things and that it doesn't affect people, because I understand fully that it does. But I'm a big proponent and believer, and it has worked tremendously well in my life, to reduce things to the simplest terms as possible. And that is with anything, but with regard specifically to food. Am I going to eat this or am I not? It is a choice. It comes down to a choice. Now, do certain things that we've been through inform, maybe even subconsciously, some of our choices and decisions? Yep, they do. However, does not remove the fact that it all comes down to a choice. Do I want this right now, or do I really want this? Am I going to eat this, or am I not going to eat this? Am I going to cook this food, or am I not going to cook this food? Every morning when my alarm goes off, really early in the morning, likely when people are have gone to bed for maybe 1 to 2 hours. It's not always easy, but you know what's crazy? I'm going to share this with you, and you're going to think I'm a freaking nut for this. I'll get up to go to the bathroom, and it'll be like another hour or 45 minutes, or even a half hour. I think the half hour is even worse. I look at my clock, and I've still got like a couple hours left to sleep. And I don't like that. I want to look at my clock and be like, yes, I beat that alarm clock again. I like to be awake before the alarm clock. I cannot. I'm a sicko, man. I can't wait to get up and start this whole thing all over again, because for me, it's a challenge every single day to get up and repeat the same things that I know I'm responsible to do, to pay those dues for the things that I want in this life. I'm stoked for that because it gives me so much control. So much control. And I love it. It's awesome. In a world that can seem immeasurably chaotic and wild and crazy, some of the simplest stuff, if we implement on a regular basis, can give us an immense feeling of security, self-control, and determination. Some of my wild thoughts, y'all. Peace.